Lefty lunacy, so much of it around. Rita, there's a Labor councillor who had to stand down. What's she done?
Well, no, she's only stepped down from the board of a Jewish preschool after parents found her secret X account, formerly Twitter, which was retweeting all sorts of pro-Hamas or Hamas-apologist content. I think she was saying things like Republicans are more scary than Hamas, and also absolving the group of war crimes. What is strange is that she's actually converted to Judaism in recent history.
Here's that double think Julie was thinking about. There you go.
But she seems to be an anti-Zionist Jew.
There you go.
Well, there's being an anti-Zionist Jew, but then there's also retweeting things that say, the West is the real problem and Hamas, is justified with this.
Well, we saw in Melbourne as well more of this there was Palestinian convoy turning up in, here we go.
This is really,
James?
Yeah, look, this is in front of a Jewish, I think, bakery or delicatessen or restaurant in Melbourne here, and you see this...
Fitzroy Street, St Kilda.
Fitzroy Street, St Kilda, sorry. And, again, with the pro-Palestinian flags, with the Quranic pickup truck there, all of this stuff here is designed, frankly, to intimidate. It's this, we see this over and over again. People going into the eastern suburbs of Sydney, happening in suburbs in Melbourne, heavily Jewish areas, with their flags, with their signs, honking, shouting, And this is one of those things where they use our free speech against us because it's very intimidatory. I've talked to a lot of Jewish families who are very, very concerned. They feel very nervous when these guys come through the neighborhood. There was an incident at North Bondi here in Sydney earlier this week where it started a fight. This is not responsible behavior. Wow. And the one thing that also needs to be talked about here is this is not, both sidesism here. There's only one side that is really engaging in really provocative acts when it comes to this conflict on the streets.
Well, from the river to the sea is inciting hatred. It's inciting hatred. And inciting hatred is the red line in free speech. If your free speech, which is fine, is out there, which is to be applauded, is out there inciting hatred of other people and inciting genocide of other people, which is what From the River to the Sea is doing.
And
no less than Zeke or anything else.
The government allowed a bunch of people to scream F the Jews and gas the Jews at the Opera House before Israel had even begun to retaliate for those attacks. We know what's going on.
Well, we know this isn't happening with both sides, even here in Australia. We're not having Orthodox Jews put a convoy together with inflammatory signs and going to Lakemba and trying to intimidate people going about their business. So this is not... let's see it for what it is. And there's been multiple incidents in Melbourne too. I know there's a number of Jewish families who've had to bring in private security, step up security. That's how concerned they are about their personal safety.
Well, on a better note, in Brisbane today, in fact, there is a pro-Israel march, which, here we go. You can look that up if you want to attend that. Anzac Stand with Israel. So, well done. And there will be a 200-man haka. And we've seen some great footage of the hakas, the pro-Israeli hakas. OK, now let's also talk about a bit of... this is just, we haven't really concentrated as much as we should on the whole energy saga. But we have the news now that India has announced that it hopes to jack up its coal production by 70% by 2027. So in other words, they are busily, like China and India are massively increasing the amount of coal production, much of which I'm glad to say will come from us and we'll sell it to them, which is great. But this insanity of net zero and renewables in this country, cannot do anything for the climate. If you believe in that sort of stuff, it can't do anything. And yet we are and destroying our own.
It's so funny because like here in Sydney, a lot of councils, including my own, well done, Inner West Council, they're making everybody pick out their food and put that in a separate rotting food bin to compost and be taken out of landfill because they think that this is actually going to impact the climate. No, I'm sorry, this is really where it gets just to the point of religious lunacy.
Well, the religious lunacy comes every time I order a drink and it's got a paper straw inside it. I mean, how crazy are we that we have just got along with that? Paper!
And no plastic bags at the shops either.